Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another predictions video, and in today's video I'm going to be predicting the Mccaskill versus Ryan fight. If you are new around here though and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like video if you do need like video, and let's get straight into it. So, going into this fight, Ryan is 6-1 with 2 KOs and Mccaskill is 12-3 with 5 KOs. This fight is for the IBO, WBA, WBC and WBO World Welterweight titles. Ryan's last fight was a win via unanimous decision versus Hull, and Mccaskill's last fight was a loss via unanimous decision versus Cameron. Ryan is 30 and Mccaskill is 39. Ryan is 5'9.5" and Mccaskill is 5'6". This is in Mccaskill's home country of America, and more upon what I've just said there. Of course, this is for all the titles. Well, all bar one, I believe, but a lot of the titles. Mccaskill moving back up in weight, back to the weight where she is the champion, and going back to the weight which seemingly she's more comfortable at. Of course, last time out Ryan got a victory. It was a good victory for her. It was a dominating performance. It was a good, comfortable win. She went and did what she had to do. She found lots of success. She looked very good in the fight, and it was a fight which I like to see from her, and it showed another very good development. And saying this is obviously a big step up for her, that fight was one which definitely she needed to look good in, and she needed to show that she deserved to get a shot or get a fight as big as this, and she did show that, and that's why she's got it. Mccaskill, I mean, last time out she didn't look good at all. Obviously it was against Cameron, who now, on hindsight since then, has now gone on to beat Katie Taylor and look very good in that fight, but she really didn't look good in that fight at all. Something looked out of it. She didn't look like the normal Mccaskill we've seen. Like I said, maybe it was the weight, but there was other elements of that fight which she just didn't look like she was in it at all. I'll touch upon more of that in a minute. But of course, Ryan is the younger fighter as well by 9 years. Mccaskill almost, going on to 40 now. It's maybe age is catching up to her to an extent. Ryan, bigger fighter as per usual in this weight division. She's going to be used to being, and she is used to being the bigger fighter. Also on this card though is Hitchens versus Zepeda for the IBF North American WBA Silver and WBO NABO Super Lightweight titles, in which I think Hitchens will win via unanimous decision. This is a nice step up for him. I feel like it's a necessary step up for him, and this is going to, if he wins this, he can definitely go on to world level fights, and that's most probably what he wants. Obviously, he was going to have to fight versus Love, but that didn't end up happening with Love, I think, getting an injury or something. But I don't know if that fight's ever going to happen. But this is a good fight as well, and I am a fan of it. I think Hitchens will get shown what it's like fighting at a world level with this fight, but will still be able to manage to find enough success to be able to get a unanimous decision stoppage. Not stoppage, unanimous decision. I don't think he'll get a stoppage, because I don't think he has enough power. I think if he is going to get a stoppage, it'll be just that relentless pressure, or a barrage of punches, I suppose. But I don't think he will. But yeah, either way, I think he'll be able to get the win. Moving back on to the Ryan Mccaskill fight. So Ryan as a fighter, like I said, she's developing well, improving with every fight from her defeat. She's now gone on and she's improved with every fight, like I said, and looked better, in my opinion, with every fight. She's used to being the bigger fighter, like I said. She's aggressive. She is, in my opinion, does her best work at the mid-range. She's strong. She's got high guard. She's got a good jab. She's got good shot variety. She's tough. She's got good snapping combinations. She switches her stances quite well. She punches through you. She improves during and throughout the fight. She's relentless. She will unload shots, and she does give it her all. Like I said last time out, good performance. Her combinations were very good. When she was in the mid-range, she was teeing off, and when she had her up against the rope, she was teeing off very well, punching through any sort of defense that Hall had, and was finding lots of success with that. Good body work as well, and like I said, it was a good performance, comfortable performance, and that kind of relentless attacking ability is going to make it a good fight for this one. I think if we see a Mccaskill which, maybe bar last time out, a typical Mccaskill, then we will see a good attacking display from her as well. So this could be a war of a fight. But I also think that Ryan has maybe that little bit more boxing technical ability and should keep it out of the mid-range. But that doesn't always end up being the case, like I said. And, let's speak about more what the negatives of her are. Is she too early for this shot? That's the question. I don't know. Of course, it's going to be shown with this, but I mean, she's only had 7 fights now, and one of them was a defeat. And the last time she did take a notable step up, she lost, and this is a notable step up for her. Will she end up losing? Well, obviously we're going to have to wait and see, but this could be too soon for her. I feel like even if she does lose this fight, then she can definitely rebuild and come back, but there's definitely questions of if this is too soon for Ryan. She can be dragged into a fight. This is what is going to make this fight interesting. If she gets dragged into a fight and it becomes a close range war, then Mccaskill, in my opinion, is definitely going to find more success. I think Ryan is much better in the mid range, finding her shots, using her jab well, and being able to tee off in that aspect and pushing fighters back from the mid range and keeping behind her jab, like I said. But if she's going to be dragged into a war, which she does, it does end up happening quite a lot, then I think Mccaskill is definitely going to find more of the success, and it could end up being annoying, frustrating night for Ryan if that ends up happening. She has to be more patient, in my opinion. She's not always as patient as what she can be, and that's when she does kind of rush in a little bit as well. She keeps her head on the line quite a bit as well. It means that she can get shots just teed off her. She didn't have loads of defensive movement either, but it's more the head being kept on the line, which can be a bit bad defensively. She can be a bit tense as well. She didn't always look fluid or comfortable. She can look a bit tense and tentative. She sometimes falls into her shots. When she throws them, she looks a bit off balance as she throws them and falls into them. It means that she can get countered as well. She, in my opinion, does struggle a bit to keep distance, which shouldn't realistically be too much of a problem. I think if she keeps behind her jab, then she shouldn't struggle, but sometimes she does struggle because maybe she just allows the fight to be made into a close range fight. I don't really know. Sometimes her footwork's a bit off. When you have that switching stance, it can be difficult to know when to switch and know what the best time to switch is. And she does sometimes then just end up standing straight on, and that is not going to, first of all, help her balance, and second of all, she is going to be against somebody who is going to be putting on their own pressure as well. She's going to be standing straight on. It's going to be easier to get hit as well. And in my opinion, she's not overly technical. I feel like she can be, but a lot of the time she just doesn't really show over amounts of technical ability. Mccaskill's a fighter though. Of course, she's back at her weight. She's more experienced as a fighter. She's tough, aggressive, always hits hard as well. She's relentless, pressure fighter. She will throw from everywhere. She overwhelms you. She sucks you into a war. And overall, she is when she's on her day, she's a good, very good top level operator, and that aggressiveness can be very much too difficult for a lot of opponents. And like I said, she will really overwhelm you and put on that pressure. And this might be one of the first times that, well, this might be a bad thing for either fighter because it's going to contrast in styles, and so this what could make this fight interesting. It could be an entertaining fight as well. But like I said, she will suck you into a war, and that is definitely going to be something interesting to see if that ends up happening. Negatives: coming off a poor performance, she's wild, reckless, a bit of a lack of accuracy, openings to getting countered as well. She can be too aggressive at times, can be a bit sloppy, can try and force the stoppage and get a bit frustrated if it doesn't happen. She, especially in that last fight, normally she's quite quick and has quick hands, but she did properly slow down in that last fight, and I don't know if she just looked uninterested. I don't know if it was age catching up to her, but she just seemed like she didn't look like any kind of normal Mccaskill, and it was just a strange viewing. She has a bit of a shaky defense as well, so you don't really know as well where her mindset is and what she's going to be going into this thinking. As I suppose for her, I mean, this isn't really as big of a fight as what the Cameron one was. I mean, it's a defense of her titles, and it's moving up off the defense off a defeat. So where is her head going to be at? Really, you don't really know. Mccaskill is the favourite for this fight, and I think that Ryan will win via unanimous decision. I feel like if this was a few years ago for Mccaskill, then Mccaskill definitely could have found more success. This is going to be, in my opinion, the writing of her career. If she ends up losing this one convincingly, then she might end up retiring, I don't know, or she just might not be the same ever again. But Ryan, she's on the upward, she's got that momentum, that trajectory as well, and she, in my opinion, has the similar attributes to Mccaskill, but is doing them at a higher level at the moment and doing them at a better ability at the moment. And I think that she's going to win by unanimous decision. Where's she on to next? Couple fights here. There's Jonas, there's Harper. Will it end up happening? I don't really know. I feel like a fight which could definitely be made. I don't feel like she's going to go into another world title shot straight after the back of this one. I feel like she probably will defend the titles because, I mean, there's 4 titles here as well. And I think Bergholt could be a good fight for her. I would imagine it'd be quite an easy one to be made. It would be one which would be a defence of the titles and definitely could be the one which ends up happening next, not another huge fight. And then maybe after that go on to another huge fight. But you know what happens with stuff like Jonas. It could be difficult to make that fight. But either way, that is it for today's video. Hope you did enjoy. Like this, if you did, like this, subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching.